Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's watch list preview. It's a little bit of a different game plan this week because the market's closed today on Friday, so gonna get this one done a little bit early. I got a lot of things going on this weekend, so thought it'd be a good time to get this video out and give everybody a couple extra days to look it over and see what you think about it. So. Scanned for inside weeks and came up with a bunch of them. Like I think there were 300 and some um, that came up on my scan. Some of them had earnings this week, so I crossed them off the list. A lot of them a lot of them were just flat for weeks on end with no real movement. So I took those off of there. We don't want anything that's just going to sit and chop all week. Um, you might be able to make some money on it, but those aren't really the best trades to make. There were some that the charts were bearish on all the longer term charts, but they had a bullish week, an inside bullish week, and that's kind of going against the grain. So I took those off, and I just pretty much was left with the best of what I thought was the best of the best. So and some of them I took off just because I try to keep the list smaller. I don't want to have 10, 15 on a list because it just gets overwhelming trying to monitor all those alerts. Um, and as you know, if you saw my tweet the other day, my video I put out yesterday, the Thinkorswim alerts weren't working very good this week. The one I got 3 days later. The other two I got 2 days late. So hopefully they get that fixed because if not, alerts are useless. You might have to go to TradingView or something and get alerts, but I think TradingView you can only get one free alert or one alert with the free version. After that, you have to pay. So anyway, inside weeks we have Walmart, Disney, eBay, and UPS. Walmart to the upside, the rest of them to the downside. So let's take a look at Walmart here. You see it's been running strong for several weeks now, a few months. We had an inside week here, bullish inside week. I shouldn't say bullish, but it's more bullish than bearish. It's a doji, but it's I forget what they call this, hanging man or something. But it's more bullish than it is bearish. So we're looking for a break above 158.29. The problem is if you go back and look, that's all-time highs on this. So we don't really have any targets. So what I've put in here is just be careful with targets. You can either use broadening formations. You can use a reversal on a loser time frame. Okay, on a lower time frame. Yeah, we don't want to see loser anywhere. Um, Reversal on a lower time frame, which means let's say you go down to the 4 hour and you see something like this. That's a reversal on a lower time frame. Or you can look for a break below one of the moving averages on a lower time frame. Say you go to this 60-minute. When you see this, it broke below the moving average. Time to get out. That's another option. It really depends on what you're looking for. Fibonacci extensions. If you don't know how Fibonacci extensions work, and I'm not an expert at them, I really don't use them. I gotta see where they. I might even get this wrong. That didn't even work. Maybe it's the. Like I said, I really don't use these. Let's try the retracements. Let's go from there to there. Yeah, I did it wrong. Okay, I have to go from top to bottom. Alright. So from there to there, and there that gives you your extensions. This would be 100%. The next one would be 165.54. Next one's 174.73. I'm not an expert at Fibonacci extensions. I'm not going to pretend to be. I really don't use them, but in this case, if you're comfortable with using them, that might be an option. So uh, that would be another something else you can use. So that's what we're looking at for Walmart. Like I said, not really any targets there. Okay, Disney. Let's take a look at Disney. And we have an inside week shooter. So we're looking for a break below 130.04. Target 1 isn't a big target. It's 128.38. It's not quite $2. Second target is going to be, and see these yellow, the goldish colored, ignore those. Those are for the yearly markings that I have. So if you look here, target 2 is way back here. This would actually give you, target 1 here would actually give you a gap fill. The low is 128.38 and the high here is 128.62. So this would actually fill the gap. I mean, the gap's already filled, but what I'm saying is ignore this gap because it's been filled. Target 1 is already there. So target 2 is down here at the bottom of this candle. It's going to be 119.81, so nice $10, almost $10 move there. Target 3 is going to be the bottom of this candle here at 117.23. So that's targets for Disney. eBay. Let's take a look at eBay. We gotta fix this. Alright, weekly on eBay. Another inside week with a shooter. Break below 53.96 is your entry. First target is going to be the bottom of this candle at 53.48. Your second target is going to be the bottom of this candle at 50.01. Your third target is going to be way back here at 48.67. So that's what we're looking at on eBay. I happen to actually like eBay. Probably the best out of these setups, and I'll explain why in a minute here. Okay, UPS. UPS inside week. Not really a shooter, but it's bearish. Your entry is going to be a break below this inside candle at 186.67. Target 1 is down here. Yeah, we could say this is target 1 here, but it's only like 20 cents. So we're going to say target 1's 180.63. Target 2 is 177.13. Target 3 at 174.70. And again, you can continue on with targets. If you reach that and you still have some contracts left, you can keep moving your targets down and move your stops along with it. So that's it for the inside weeks. Now, I know I've been mentioning that I've been looking at working on a system. I'm not going to go into full detail about it, but this is what I'm looking at on this one, and this is why I say I like eBay probably the best, because it also has alerted on this system too. So just to give you a brief, and there's no targets, there's no entries or targets on these. Basically, when they trigger, the thought is get in them right away. Now, I do try to look for a strat type of entry, but sometimes it's just not there. If it's too big of a move, I'll get in anyway. And I'll show you an example. We'll start out with Micron. I'm looking at the weekly chart, but however, I need to change this to month. And it basically looks for multiple time frame analysis. Like I said, this is gonna be a whole separate video to explain this, but I'm still working on it. Not ready to completely go over it, but I'm just giving kind of like a preview or a prelude here to what I'm looking at and kind of why. So if you see this little red arrow here, you can see that little red arrow. That's telling me that's an entry. That's a trigger. So basically, when the following candle closes, I can get in right away, instantly. This is the CCI indicator down here. I'm sure a lot of you know what the CCI is. So, hold on one second. I just got a text. So, anyway, so entry's basically right away, and then I have a trailing stop, and you can the trailing stop's based on Heikin-Ashi, but it's not directly Heikin-Ashi. It's a little bit more to it. But you can use other targets. It's kind of like a trailing stop. It'll move along with your with the price fluctuating. The stops have been pretty tight, typically 5% stop. Targets typically around 25%, some of them up to 80%. What I would recommend is if you do any of these, buy time, because you don't really. For one, I've never traded a weekly setup on with this system. Two, you could pull all the way back into here. I'm sure it would stop you out ahead of time, but yeah, I would just buy time. To be honest with you, I would just paper trade it, write it down on paper what your entry would be, follow it for till whatever kind of exit strategy you would have. I have a couple different scripts for the exit strategy. The problem is sometimes it triggers and exits me out before it should, and I don't know why yet. Example was the other day I got in a trade, and 2 minutes after I got in, it stopped me out, but when you look at the chart, it was still going in my direction. It never pulled back at all. And it continued to go on. I ended up getting back in at a higher price, and I wrote it out for like, I don't know, 60%. But it shouldn't have stopped me out in the first place. So that's one of the things I'm working on trying to figure out before I want to share this with everybody. Still trying to figure that out. I don't know if it's a think or swim problem, or if it's a script problem, or just the whole ideology of it problem. So anyway, you see Micron, we have the trigger here. If you look at Baidu, same thing, triggers right there on Baidu. What it also looks for is the 10 and 30 EMAs. The 10 has to be in agreement. The 10 and 30 have to be in agreement with the direction. You saw on Baidu, the 10 is below the 30. On Micron, the 10 is below the 30 and recently crossed. Win is the next one. You see the little red arrow, the 10 is below the 30. And eBay, the 10 is below the 30. So basically what this is, this line here is a moving average line based on the Heikin-Ashi. I did not create this script. I found this script somewhere online, and I combined it with a couple of other scripts and kind of blended them together to come up with this. So I'm not the originator, but I'm more the Dr. Frankenstein here. So when this line is green, I don't want to hover over because it's harder to see, but when this line is green, it's bullish. When it's red, it's bearish. When it's yellow, it's neutral. So you want to, you see when it turns red here, you got the red arrow. When it turned red here, you got the red arrow. It turned green here, you got the green arrow. So that's kind of what it does. without going into too much detail about how it does it and why it does it. That's basically what it does. I also look at the CCI, which I'm sure if you've been trading for a while, you've heard of the CCI. I try to look at the CCI. If the CCI is up over 200 and I get a green arrow, I ignore it. Another thing I'm kind of looking at is trying to only, and I haven't really run across the situation, but only take trades like this one here. I got a green arrow, but it's below the 30 EMA. Don't take those trades. Now, I haven't back tested it enough yet to really see. This one here you wouldn't take. It was the red arrow, but the 10 is above the 30. So you wouldn't take this trade. Right here, you would take this one because the 10 is above the 30 and the candle is, the price is above the 30. So that one you would take. Now, you might not take it because of where the CCI is, but aside from the CCI, that's one you would take. Right here would be a great one. This would be a great one right here. You got your green arrow, your CCI is not real high, you're above the 10's above the 30, your price is above the 30. There you go. So I actually created a script on this to automatically enter and exit a trade, and I've done it a few times this week. Most of them successful. I didn't track this week's results yet, but last week's was about 70% winners. In fact, let me see here. This is what I have so far from what I've tracked. Since April 4th, $509 profit, 128% in winning trades. $90 winner, $3 loser, $4 loser, $9 winner, $6 loser, $48 winner, $12 winner, $62 loser, but I got in, that one was before 10 o'clock, which I try to avoid, and it was a current week's. $5 winner, $107 winner, $92 winner, $36 winner. That one was a break even, $5 win, $5 loss, $2 loss, $19 win, $178 win, and $10 loss. That's what I have so far. That's basically 2 weeks of testing. And that's only trading, for the most part, one contract, but it's really trying to stay around $300 per entry. I think this one here I went in a little bit deeper. It was 2 contracts for $570 for entries. But for the most part, I'm staying around $300 for entry. So, let's track these and see how it does this week. I'm not going to trade. I might trade them. We'll see. I may trade one of these. But just kind of a quick 10,000 foot view of what I'm looking at here. And I know, a lot of straters are going to not be happy about this because it's not really strat related. But what I do look for is, let's say this one here. The theory is to enter immediately, but I may go down to the daily and look for a break below the previous candle before I enter. So I am kind of looking at strat type entries. This one here, maybe I'd go down to the 4 hour and I'd wait for a break below this one to get in. So still kind of using a strat in a sense, but it's not directly strat. So sorry it's a long video, but I just wanted to get that out there. And when I am ready to share this, I'll do a whole video on it. So thanks again for watching. See you guys later, and good luck next week. Bye.